They threw it all the way for the modern audience. I've said it a couple of times. God damn, look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. Ref is doing insanely well. It is crazy. His wife must be pretty proud of him. That is insane. Yeah. Let's get into it. I've said it a couple of times. The modern audience does not exist. They are trying to create the modern audience. The problem is that I assume that this is a small indie studio. Which scares me, because... just yikes. What are you doing with like smaller indie studio?
Hey, what's up guys, Riv here. So today we're going to be looking at another example of a game crippling its own success by appealing to the modern audience. Now today we're going to be looking at a game called Windstorm: The Legend of Kimori, who decided it'd be a good idea to add extra pronouns into their game that is based on 13th century Mongolia. Apparently they've learned nothing from the...
What? I mean, that's not still too bad, but that is very much what's the term? Immersion breaking.
Concord disaster, which in part failed because of actions like this, where you had community managers openly mocking people for criticizing woke aspects of their game, even calling them weirdos who'll have no games left to play at all if they keep this up. On top of that, it looks like they didn't learn anything from Dustborn, which of the last 24 hours has seen a max peak of 10 players.
By the way, for Dustborn, they had a stand in some Japanese... was it Japan? I think it was Japan. It's a convention. Nobody was there. Nobody, besides a dude who just looked at it and was infinitely curious. Bro seemed really intrigued. Yeah, but again, that game was supported by the European Union. $135,000 went into this game. Think about that.
And their success was also stifled.
That was our tax money. Our tax money went into funding this garbage.
By members of their team who made tweets like this, basically saying that they'll put woke stuff into their games just...
We will put knitting men and sexy non-binary peeps in your video game, and I will never stop. Be afraid, I come not in peace. It's funny because knitting is a pretty useful skill. Technically, you can do a lot with that, and like you can do really cool stuff with that. And funny enough, the sexy non-binary people always look like women. Funny, huh? They always look feminine. They don't make masculine non-binary people.
Despite their potential customer base for their own political agenda. So what are we talking about with this game? Well, recently they had this promotional piece that definitely went viral. Like, as of recording this video, it's got well over 100,000 likes, millions of views. It's a very short clip displaying some of their game. And yeah, this is a viral post. A great opportunity for a smaller studio like this that really...
We're making a game where you play a career rider in the 13th century Mongolia. No combat, just you, the horse you've tamed, bred and trained, and the vast wilderness. Would you play this? From the screenshot, this looks fairly pretty. This looks fairly pretty. You can tell a lot of time went into this.
You couldn't pay for this level of exposure. Even games like Black Myth Wukong, when they released previews of their game on Twitter, they would get nowhere near this level of exposure. So this is like lightning in a bottle. This is a great opportunity. And you can see the caption here. It says, "We're making a game where you play a courier rider in the 13th century Mongolia. No combat, just you and the horses you've tamed, bred, and trained, and the vast wilderness. Would you play this?" Now, this sort of concept of just like an open world, roaming around, no combat type feel is very divisive. Like, either you like it or you don't. A lot of people hear this 13th century...
Yeah, I mean, sure. But I would enjoy this. It looks pretty.
Mongolia setting and go, wait, There's no combat here. What a missed opportunity. I have no interest in this. And that's fair.
Yeah,
And when you
sure.
think about like comfy games, even like Stardew Valley even has combat in it. But anyways, there's a lot of people out there. There's a big market
I never played Stardew Valley. I cannot comment on that. But if it does have combat, that's actually kind of funny. I mean, like Stardew Valley is similar to like, I don't know, Rune Factory, because Rune Factory is basically like Harvest Moon but with combat.
for games where there's just no combat, people running around. It might sound boring to some people, but to some people, that's the type of experience they want. And I think it's a pretty untapped market, honestly. Now, like I said,
Sure,
you have
sure.
lightning in a bottle here. Promotion you couldn't even pay for. So don't mess it up. Well, you can see this is a game based in 13th century Mongolia. And here's an interaction that would make that look very odd. So,
No! No! What are you doing? I mean, you still 11k likes, but what are you doing? For every comment like this, I will add one extra pronoun to the game. Stardew Valley has enemies in caves. Okay. Like I said, I never knew that. I never played Stardew Valley. I always found a bit I was always a bit intrigued to play it, but I have never played it. Maybe I should do that at one point. But why? You had such a successful tweet.
this user would reply to the main tweet saying, I would love to, as long as it can avoid woke DEI nonsense, which appears unlikely as you have pronouns in your bio. Where this consultant from the team says, for every comment like this, I will add one extra pronoun to the game. Yes, we all know that 13th century Mongolia was big on having extra pronouns available. Now, this is a really bad idea. Okay, a lot of people, the usual complainers will screenshot this video and be like, oh, look at Rev fuming over pronouns. I'm not fuming over pronouns. The reason I point this out is because I think it's a very bad move as someone who captured a really good promotional opportunity.
Yeah, true. It's just it was just a stupid idea. Though they threw it all away for the modern audience, I wouldn't really go that far. I wouldn't really go that far.
This is something that is just inherently divisive. It doesn't make sense in terms of the context of the game. It doesn't enhance anything, and it doesn't make sense for the setting. And all you're doing is really just turning off a potential customer base by adding this stuff in. People are tired of seeing all this nonsense. We've seen it before with Dustborn and Concord. This attitude of people affiliated with your game can have a real impact on the goodwill amongst potential customers and can make a lot of people just say, hey, I'm not going to support this nonsense.
It's mainly not like people fuming over pronouns. It's the problem when it has been established that pronouns in your bio or in your game are a red flag. That is just the hard truth. I don't care if somebody has pronouns in their name. The problem now is that is a red flag. And when it's a red flag, people will try to avoid it at all costs. It's like colored hair. There's nothing wrong with colored hair. But has become a red flag. Because oftentimes the people with colored hair have ridiculous opinions. Some things are just a red flag now.
It's because I'm tired of seeing all this stuff. And that's reflected in the top replies to this week. You can see some saying, looking forward to the inevitable what went wrong video and the heartfelt message to all our fans. And another one saying, you didn't take any notes from Concord, Dustborn, or any of the other massive failures of late. Welp. Another one saying, the answer was already a no, but now I would not play it even if you paid me. Another one saying,
hey, at least they didn't try to hide the replies or lock them. Because if they lock them, oh god.
I hate when checks notes 13th century Mongolian courier games go all woke. And the last one saying, no thanks then. And you look at this, right, you think maybe this is just a joke. I assure you that was not really a joke. I think this person is dead serious about their attitude here. And immediately after the backlash started, you would see this consultant make a follow-up tweet with literally like 1/1000th of the attention the main teaser there got, saying this: I thought I'd just try a quick post on my last day of work because vacation, and whoopsied into a 3 million views viral tweet, and now people are arguing my mentions about whether our game is going to be too woke. I'm going to F off on holiday and not check my notifications for at least 2 weeks, so that's actually great. So
Okay.
a couple things to say here. Number one, the reason people are arguing about whether your game is going to be too woke or not is your direct responsibility, because
True. That is true. Yeah. Man, you had such a great opportunity and you fucked it up.
you
Aww.
responded to a reply that probably wouldn't have gotten any attention unless you actually reply to it. Now you've raised this issue and you gave the really the most ammunition-filled response you could possibly give in that situation. You seem like you're pandering to the modern audience, and we've seen how the modern audience performs, right? They don't show up for games. And you're making this divisive for no reason at all. And again,
Is it just me or is Rev's model fucking up a little?
it's a
Why is it like
13th
jumping
century
around?
Mongolia setting. This just makes no sense. It's a weird hill to die on in this situation. And also this whole excuse.
Yeah, it is fucked up. It is jumping around back and forth.
Kind of lame. I'm gonna be
to the
honest
sides.
with you,
Yeah, you fucked it up.
Any sort of criticism you're receiving right now, and also you're saying you're gonna F off on the people who are excited about this game too. You have an amazing opportunity, and you're just saying, well, I'm going away for 2 weeks. See you later. I just think overall this was just bad. And looking into this person's account, you can see they have various links. And if you go to their personal website, you can see the first thing they want you to know about themselves is that they are from Zurich and they're in the local game dev scene. And they're generally...
Hello, Asta. Coffee jitters? What? What? What?
interest
I don't
is
understand.
in social progress and diversity. The
I
most
do not
important
understand.
thing you need to know about her, front and center, is that. So when you see the
Did I fall for another
response we had
trap?
on the original thread,
Please don't.
it all makes sense, doesn't it? Let's move on to some...
Oh, we got more stuff. New Batman game by Rocksteady. Oh. That's why companies hire individuals to interact with customers. The funny part is that they hire people that are supposed to interact with customers, yet they have no idea how to interact with customers. The social media account for that is it called Godot engine is run by a woke fool. It is weird as hell. And now they got their ass beat and hiding replies and stuff, and it's like, why are you hiring these people? They will just harm your company and nothing more. And like this literally just came out. That beatdown just literally happened because one person criticized their pandering instead of like fixing bugs for that engine. And it wasn't even like bad or anything. It was literally just like, hey, instead of doing that, why won't you like fix like the engine and stuff and bugs? Yeah, and they blocked them, and then literally they spiral into absolute chaos.
Some more news that dropped yesterday. This one was definitely very interesting. So you can see this caption here: a new Batman game is reportedly in the works at Rocksteady. PlayStation are also trying to get exclusivity for the game. So that's like, that's two major blows right
there. That is a red flag. Sony, keep your fingers away. Rocksteady, also probably difficult to judge.
The fact that Rocksteady is getting another crack at a DC IP right here is flabbergasting.
Leave Batman out of this. The Batman games, most of them are really good. Just leave Batman alone.
Rocksteady is literally falling upwards. It makes no sense in any other realm of the world and in business. If you fail the way that Rocksteady has in the past with their games, you would not get another cent. You would get no more further work with other companies and IPs, but that's not the case here. And we always go back to Rocksteady Studios, right? This is their Twitter account, their official Twitter account.
They still have this in there? And let me guess. If I were to look up Rocksteady for the Arabian space, they would have a different logo. Let me guess.
Account for their game company. This was not a screenshot from Pride Month. This is a screenshot from September 24th. Okay? And it has hashtag Black Lives Matter and hashtag Pride with a...
Funny how they still have hashtag Black Lives Matter in there, yet Black Lives Matter was exposed, at least the founder of that movement, which was also technically a company, took all the money that was given to Black Lives Matter and dipped. And we now don't know where that money is and that person.
A pride flag in the profile picture. It just seems so odd. Because, like, if you want to support these things, do it on your own personal account, not on your Rocksteady Studios official business account. Like, are you selling me games or an agenda? I don't understand. And you can see right in the banner of their profile here, they have Suicide Squad on the mind, which honestly, it should be on their mind. It should haunt them forever because Rocksteady's development of...
This game is so bad. This game is so bad. It is hilarious how bad it really is. This is an awful game. Not as bad as Concord. But my god. What they did with this game. Ugh.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was an absolute abject failure. A reminder that live service games are pretty much doomed to this point. People don't want them, and yet Rocksteady is fully on board, and that also leads you to believe, what will they do?
People would have no problem with live service games if the entire content of that live service game after it will end service would turn into an offline mode. People would not have a problem with that. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If there's an MMO, that MMO, when it shuts down, you should be able to give me an offline version of that MMO. That is how it should be always. For every live service game. MMOs, shooters, well, not shooters, but like survival games, anything, give me an offline version.
Do with the current game that's in development.
Gacha games.
But anyways, we know the story here. They lost $200 million for Warner Bros. In the process of developing this game. A massive
$200 million. That's a number. That's a number.
Loss. But how is that rewarded?
Holy.
Not with any sort of punishment or loss of work, but instead with a new IP to work on, and in this case, a new Batman game, which obviously comes with a lot of attention. A beloved IP with a beloved character.
Yep, Rose model is lagging heavily.
But Rocksteady has already proven they can take a successful IP and make it absolutely bleed financially. And again, it's just sad to see that mediocrity is being rewarded in the industry once again, and I think it's very fair for people to be concerned about the future of this game right here, questioning who's actually going to be working on this in terms of the writers at Rocksteady, and also will there be more involvement from Sweet Baby, because Sweet Baby was involved with the development.
Oh no, right. Is Sweet Baby going to be involved in this again?
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And on top of that, you know, what is going to be the direction of this game? It's going to be another live service game. I think these are very fair questions to ask and very fair concerns to have about this game that a lot of people will probably be looking forward to. But it's not all bad, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a very good success story over the...
This is such a good game. It is absurd how good this game is. It is crazy. It is so good. Man. Man, is that a good game. This is a great game. Space Marine 2, I've seen so much video about it, so much praise. It plays well. It is great. I love this game. This is so good.
Past couple of weeks, and that is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. A lot of people have been very, very happy with this game that recently released. You can see on Steam 63,000 reviews and a very positive overall rating. This game is really doing a
Yeah, the Warhammer fans have been eating very good.
great job. A lot of people are enjoying this and are hyped up about it. And the game is very simple, right? It's not anti-woke in the sense that it's stomping all over all the stuff that all these other studios are doing. They're simply coming out with a fun product that is meant to give you a good time and not waste.
It is a game for Warhammer fans. And that's all it is.
Any sort of agenda in your face. I know, very daring concept in the year 2024 from a development studio. But you can see, back in July, they made a very bold
Bro's
move.
lag is fixed.
Warhammer decided that they were going to axe the public beta in order to basically take all their resources into the development of this game and prepare for a fully developed and proper launch in September. And at the time, it's a ballsy move. A lot of people were excited for the beta. They had signed up, and they were compensated for this with in-game rewards. But it was a big move. A lot of people were like, "Ooh, wait a second, this doesn't look good." But in reality, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a sloppy, hastily made product that had an open beta and then crashes on release, or one that did not have an open beta that took its time and developed something really good?
And the players that worked for them. That worked for them. That completely worked for them. Canceling the public beta. That worked out.
And does well on release. I think the answer is very obvious. But on top of that, it paid off.
Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. All-time peak 186k. 24-hour peak 72k. Playing 33 minutes ago. 47k people. Goddamn.
I mean, look at the results of
Holy,
right now.
that
at
paid
a 24-hour
off.
peak of nearly 73,000 players. Great success. It's blown the expectations out of the water. However, if you ignore the stats and you listen to the game's journalists, you would think there's some major issues going on with this game. So here's IGN, of course it's IGN, making this slop article with this headline saying, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, developer Saber Interactive, won't say whether or not controversial YouTube comment is from its CEO. And you can see, community notes violating people. Another note
Another
on
one.
this
Another
saying,
one. How is IGN still existing? How is that possible? Why are they still here?
clickbait title for a clickbait article. Fun and immersive is not controversial. Controversial comments can be found on this video. So basically what happened is, this is straight from the IGN article. So Asmongold released a related video on the game, and someone from the development team left a comment saying they are the CEO of Saber. And when they signed a deal, they wanted a throwback game. They want something to be old school, that would be fun and interactive and full of immersion. It would remind people of the old Halo games back in the day. Something that is simple with shooting loops, but also entirely addicting. And they go down here to say, we just wanted to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that is what games should be about.
That was the controversial comment. Guess everything that doesn't push the agenda is controversial. That is not pro the agenda. He's right. He even said here, I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. There's nothing controversial about that.
This is what IGN referred to as
There's nothing controversial about that.
in this article. It is the CEO leaving a
You
comment
saw
on
that
an
comment?
Asmongold video, basically saying they want to go old school with this game
On an Asmongold video. That's cool.
and just make something
That's
that is
funny.
fun and immersive and gives you a good jolt of excitement. That is
How
controversial,
is that
according to IGN
controversial?
and games journalists. That really sums up everything. The massive disconnect between what gamers want and what games journalists value. It can't.
Uh, it is. There's just, I have said it again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Game journalists are vermin. Literally. It cannot be described in another way. That's what these people are. Nothing about this statement is controversial. Nothing. Zero. Remember that they went after Wukong when fake translations came out? We all know that Wukong is gonna be should have been Game of the Year. It's not gonna be because it involved too much controversy around it. Honestly, my second guess would be Space Marine 2. I'll be real. Space Marine 2. What else do we have? There's not much.
Can't be any more obvious at this point. If it hasn't
There's
been
really not
obvious to you
much.
at this point, I don't know what else to show you. But this is another example of a hit piece.
Could the Elden Ring DLC be Game of the Year? Could the DLC be Game of the Year? I don't know.
On a successful game that is clearly not woke, when on the flip side, you have IGN praising anything that pushes an agenda that suits their needs, in this case, woke. But then when you have something like Warhammer come out that doesn't care about pushing an agenda in your face, all of a sudden the hit pieces start coming out. We saw the same thing happen with Black Myth Wukong and Game Science, the development team of that game, where IGN and others released various hit pieces trying to attack that game and its developer, which of course failed. And with Warhammer here, it's too little too late. They failed to make any sort of a meaningful push to cancel this game. And honestly, I don't think they were expecting this game to succeed at the levels that they did. Otherwise,
the Warhammer fans are strong. The Warhammer fans love their games. They love their Warhammer. And honestly, looking at the whole Amazon and Henry Cavill situation, I don't think that show is gonna come true. Because Amazon there are already problems because Henry Cavill wants this to be low accurate. They are already cooked.
they would have been probably more
because of Henry Cavill.
Preemptive with their attacks on this game and its development team. Now, while we have these
and remember, Henry Cavill left The Witcher because they disliked the source material and they actively wanted to change it. And Cavill wanted it to be low accurate.
Ridiculous attacks by IG and other journalists, we have some praise from someone who actually matters, and that's Henry Cavill. So,
based. There he is. Speaking of the man. Speaking of the man.
He is not only a very accomplished
look
actor,
at this.
he is someone who's
look at this. One of the most based actors out there.
Considered basically the pinnacle of a celebrity gamer, someone who truly cares about gaming, and also he has carried that into his career. We've seen the whole Witcher fiasco where he will do anything to protect the actual identity of the source material he is working on.
So much he would leave. He will leave the project if it isn't law accurate.
As an actor, he really does care.
That is a man of principle.
About games, and he is playing this new game right here, saying this game is the mutts. Seriously though, they've done pretty well, eh? I couldn't complete the campaign on Angel of Death myself, or at least I didn't have the patience to complete it by myself, which I love. Loving the PvP and really looking forward to it growing and expanding. It has potential to be absolutely awesome. Disclaimer, I know nothing about game development, so the kind of dreams I have may be rather difficult to implement. And don't get it twisted, his stamp of approval on a...
Yeah. This dude is such a nerd for Warhammer. It is insane. It is absurd how much of a nerd this guy is for Warhammer. his stamp of approval is really all you need when it comes to
Game
Warhammer.
means a lot to people. So seeing him playing this game and praising it, that's awesome news for a lot of people. And on top of that, it appears, as Tim Willits here reports, he says, Tom Hollenshed, former CEO of ID Software, and I believe that Space Marine 2 is the fastest selling game we've ever worked on, including all the Quake, Doom, Wolfenstein, and Rage games over the years. And that was posted on the 11th of this month. That is about 2 weeks ago. And
God damn. It was back like 2 weeks ago. Did already that well? That's crazy.
Even then, they already identified this game as a massive success among some very successful titles. And here we are 2 weeks later, and the game is still exploding in terms of success.
That is crazy.
Sales,
that is
awesome
crazy good. Just don't be like
what gamers actually
just don't be like just don't be like what's the word? Be like Helldivers 2 and have horrendous community managers and like nerf the shit out of the player. Thank you. And we have good. You once passed by Saber Interactive Studio in St. Petersburg. That's cool. That's cool. That's great.
Can succeed
That's cool.
really well, even when journalists try to take it down, and games that appeal to the modern audience are pretty much doomed from the start. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts about today's topic.
Yeah, what can you say? This is how you make a good game. This is how you make a successful game. Yeah, absolutely. This is how you make a successful game.